Grand Bahamas cruise sector welcoming hundreds of passengers this weekend. The governing Free National Movement celebrating its second year in office. And a new rector officially installed within the Anglican Church.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Shashina Wolf-Arkeson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this Monday evening, tourism numbers continuing to climb on Grand Bahama. On Saturday, the island received a major boost as thousands of cruise passengers called on our shores. Sabrina Brown has our top story.
The Carnival Sunrise, formerly Carnival Triumph, made its inaugural voyage to Grand Bahama on Saturday, bringing some 5,000 passengers and crew members on board. It was the first official visit for the Sunrise since it was refurbished. Captain Bruno Palomba says they were delighted to call on Grand Bahama.
The ship has just come out from a refit and is, let's say, called historical refit, which is we had we have several new areas. Been from the engine to the top, everything has been renovated and to improve the guest experience and the safety and security of the ship.
Officials of the Freeport Harbor and the Ministry of Tourism were on hand to welcome the crew and passengers. They also took part in a traditional plaque exchange in recognition of the ship's call on Grand Bahama. Manager of Niche Marketing and Cruise Tourism at the Ministry of Tourism, Lou Valari Chato Singh.
It's always good to have additional unexpected guests arriving to our shores. Certainly means additional business for tour operators, our vendors, and everybody else on the island.
Port Director at the Freeport Harbor Company, Orlando Forbes, says it's always a pleasure to welcome Carnival ships to Grand Bahama.
Carnival has always been a major supporter of Grand Bahama, and they continue to do so. They have significant plans coming forward in 2021. For us, this is them continuing to be supportive, and we take this opportunity to thank them for their support of this island.
Grand Bahama was the final stop on the 7-day cruise, which also included stops at Half Moon Cay and Grand Turk. The ship's port of call is Norfolk, Virginia. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, the Grand Bahama Port Authority is encouraging licensees to take advantage of training opportunities. Port Authority President Ian Roll says a product development and packaging workshop will be held this Wednesday at the Grand Bahama Yacht Club.
The event basically is to encourage local entrepreneurs, licensees to get involved in this growing tourism sector. So Aquila is a major training facility used by the cruise lines or the Florida Cruise Association, and the idea is how do we impart knowledge upon persons interested in getting involved in this growing cruise sector, and also how do you go about thinking about creating new product to introduce to the market.
He believes the workshop will be a great benefit to all business owners.
Tremendous opportunity with the new cruise ports coming on stream for Bahamians to own a piece of this economy and not just be workers. So we felt the urgency to get Bahamians involved in the process, trying to get them to understand the expectations of guests and tourists and the expectation of the cruise lines. So to us it's very important to get Bahamians involved to own businesses in this, I think, very lucrative sector.
Now, registration is still open. Persons can register online at events.gppa.com. The governing Free National Movement to observe their second anniversary as the government of the Bahamas this week. On May 10th, 2017, the FNM was elected as the government of the Bahamas in a landslide with 35 of the 39 parliamentary seats. Tonight, the party's national vice chairman and chairman of the local FNM council is assessing the government's achievements to date. For the first time in 12 years, National Vice Chairman of the Free National Movement, David Thompson, contends that the Bahamas is experiencing economic growth under this minister-led FNM government. He says great change and transformation of the economy is underway, especially on Grand Bahama.
We have announced that there is a new Carnival cruise port that is for Barbary Beach, which is $100 million and which will provide opportunities for hundreds, if not thousands, of Grand Bahamians. That Carnival cruise port is only one of other initiatives, including the Grand Lucayan Hotel is in the process of being sold, and the hotel, the casino, the golf course is being redeveloped, and we expect to have a new water theme park up there in the Port Lucaya area, as well as the redevelopment and refurbishment of the Freeport Harbor, all under Royal Caribbean Cruise Line and its partners.
He says also under consideration at this time is the West End Gin Project, the Princess Properties, Xanadu Beach, Casa Bahama, all while other initiatives are taking shape.
You would have been aware that in Smith's Point the seawall has been completed. The Fishing Hole Road now stands to be opened very shortly. In West Grand Bahama, you are looking at the new government facility to house all of the government offices in a joint partnership, as well as you are looking at the school in West Grand Bahama, which is under construction.
The National Vice Chairman says that the government's plan of turning Grand Bahama into a technology hub is also promising, and notes that the Small Business Development Center for Thriving Entrepreneurs is among other plans to grow Grand Bahama's economy.
We see where, as well, in Grand Bahama, we are attempting to create a technology hub where we can have young people, investors, all come and create a smart city here in Freeport using the new Silicon Valley technology that is presently available to us. These kinds of economic growth developments will ensure that everybody in Grand Bahama will feel that something is being done to create opportunity for everyone. And it goes along with the fact that in the Bahamas right now, in the last 2 years, we've been able to look at some $3.7 billion in foreign investments inflows. We've been able to see that the murder and the crime rate has gone down. We see where Bahamians in business and students have more opportunities in the economy. New initiatives have been announced in agriculture, in training, in tourism, in education.
He contends that the Prime Minister must be credited for effective leadership, which is not just being felt on Grand Bahama, but throughout the entire Bahamas.
Wherever you are in our Bahamas, 2 years after the Prime Minister Menace government has been governing, his economic leadership and that of his excellent team, including the 5 Grand Bahama MPs, has been such as to impact the ordinary lives of Bahamians wherever they live. Yes, there's much more to be done. Yes, it's a long journey, but the hope is there to motivate us to know that we will very soon and very soon, be able to see a prosperous Bahamas under a Menace administration.
Now, tomorrow, the National Vice Chairman will focus on some of the challenges over the past 2 years. In other news, IRCA, the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority, is coming to Grand Bahama this week. IRCA will host a series of town meetings to hear the concerns of residents as it relates to their telecommunications and electricity services. But one group is not rolling out the red carpet for IRCA. Determined for absolute change, organization is questioning the reasoning and timing of IRCA's visit. Group leader Troy Garvey says it is too little, too late, and says if it is to question the Grand Bahama Power Company's service on Grand Bahama, then he does not agree with the visit. Garvey says over the years, the power company has invested millions of dollars on a new and improved system, and says so far consumers have been seeing results, including a reduction in their power bills.
But where were you? The reason why we are here, we are trying to find out where were you in 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, when the things was high here with the power company, when they were cutting off your power on Friday and you can't turn it back on until Monday. Where were you? Where were you when the rates were high and we were demanding the power company to spread the wealth to the consumers, like bringing on the hedging? You never showed up. Now you come to Grand Bahama for what? I wonder why. I wonder who are they who are calling for IRCA now, that they did hear their cry. Because, as I said, there's nothing wrong with the power bill, so I'm quite sure it can't be the local consumers calling for them.
And when it comes to outages, he says his organization has no concerns either.
And when we did this chart back in 2009 and 10, Grand Bahama was the third highest. Therefore, we had to fight them to reduce the rates. But due to the hedging and the new framework for the power company, and with our official complaint from Operation Justice Bahamas back then, they compiled those reports, compounded it with one another, and came into their framework to find it possible to assist the consumers in Grand Bahama. I am sure that I can attest that I had calls from 4 years ago. I started to have calls from people, businesses, the industrial area, and residential, stating that they saw the reduction in their power bill. So we must be mindful of what's happening here in Grand Bahama, not to allow people to come here to contaminate what's going on already in a positive manner.
Well, IRCA's first meeting is set for the 8 Mile Rock High School gym at 6 p.m. tomorrow. On Wednesday at 6 p.m., a meeting will be held for residents of Freeport at the Foster B. Pastina Center. And on Thursday, IRCA will travel to the east with a town meeting at 6 p.m. at the St. Nicholas Church Hall in High Rock. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after the break.